Oh, okay. So you're here? I'll wait for you to put, I'll be speaking in Croatian. Thanks. Dobra večer, poštovane dame i gospodo, poštovani gospodine glavni
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear Jens, Secretary General, good evening. And allow me to welcome you warmly, you and your team, on behalf of your first official visit to the Republic of Croatia, especially today when Croatia is celebrating Independence Day. During the years of our independence, we have achieved great success in many areas, but we do know that we have great developmental potential and we want to do more and we want to do better. So allow me to congratulate to all Croats, to all fellow Croats, all citizens in the country and abroad, to congratulate them warmly on this day of independence. Today, Secretary General and myself talked and exchanged views on some of the challenges Croatia and NATO face. We will continue discussion after the press conference during dinner. Southeast Europe. Although the stability of Southeast Europe is of strategic importance for NATO, for Croatia it is of vital and almost existential importance. Bosnia and Herzegovina needs our support in the developing institutions and ensuring its constituent nations are equal. We deeply understand the deep complexities of our neighboring country, the closest country, which are even more clear after yesterday's elections. Both Dayton and Washington peace agreements are the basis for today's Bosnia and Herzegovina, and any deviation from these agreements only leads to disbalance between the three constituent nations. I would like to remind you that for years we have been warning about this discrepancy between the electoral legislation in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the decisions of the Constitutional Court of Bosnia and Herzegovina, also the decisions of some international courts. Members of the framework agreement for Bosnia and Herzegovina signed in Dayton are Bosnia and Herzegovina, Republic of Croatia, then Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, and we, as co-signatories of the Dayton Agreement, have responsibility for peace and stability of our neighboring country. Our interest is to see Bosnia and Herzegovina go down the path of development, to see its citizens benefit in future after the elections. Hopefully they will have a functional government on both entity and national level that will ensure the implementation of all the rights of all the citizens of all three constituent nations as they are defined in the Constitution of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is in fact Annex 4 to the Framework Agreement. Regardless of the first, perhaps euphoric and inappropriate statements given in the neighboring country, I truly believe in good relations between our neighbors, and I will personally continue to advocate for the benefit of the country, for the existence and for ensuring the rights of Croat and all other nations and citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I will continue advocating the path towards NATO of Bosnia and Herzegovina, its membership in the EU, and when it comes to the activation of the membership action plan, Croatia will continue advocating its activation as soon as possible. Croatia fully supports invitation to Macedonia for the beginning of negotiations for the membership in the alliance, as this is the beginning of defining and setting stability in Southeast Europe, which is a strategically important region for NATO. It is not encouraging that Macedonia was not able to have successful referendum regarding its name, but despite, I do hope that the Parliament will accept constitutional changes But that, of course, is the decision that has to be made by the Macedonian parliament and Macedonian citizens. Several other countries, which are in different levels of the Euro-Atlantic integration, require our attention and assistance. Slowing down of the normalization of relations with Serbia is worrying. We in the European Union have to keep Serbia and Kosovo on the path of negotiations on their way forward to Europe. Full recognition of Kosovo by its neighbor and the rest of the world is a precondition for regional stability. In dialogues and negotiations between Belgrade and Pristina, Croatia will not interfere, but we will only monitor them closely and support them. Croatia will continue to advocate the presence of KFOR as long as there is no safety and stability there. So Croatian part of the KFOR will remain there, and Croatia will continue having its constructive role in Brussels. In the NATO meetings, NATO summit in Brussels, we talked about the NATO confirming its unity. A number of decisions have been made, and the alliance has confirmed how efficient it is when it comes to adapting to a number of requirements, and also all the heads of confirmed its stability. Croatia warmly supports key projects. We also welcome the following steps: strengthening deterrence and defense, fair burden sharing, projecting stability and fight against terrorism, open door policy, stronger cooperation within the EU, as well as the modernization of NATO. It is important to emphasize that the alliance has once again confirmed NATO's two-track approach to Russia. NATO has to be strong in deterrence and defense, and allies should be open to targeted and content-filled dialogue with Moscow on topics of that both are interested in. When it comes to burden sharing, in the period of 2019 to 2024, Croatia will continue with permanent financial increase for defense to reach 2% of the GDP. 2018 is the second year in a row with increased consumption and, in fact, investment in defense in Croatia. We continue advocating burden sharing within the alliance. By the end of this year, Croatian government plans to prepare the national investment plan for the period until 2024. Its basis will be the long-term plan for developing Croatian armed forces in the period 2019 and to 2030, which is being prepared. Croatia supports enlarging and strengthening alliance in projecting stability. This is crucial to eradicate causes of severe danger, such as transnational terrorism and illegal migration. New NATO training mission in Iraq is the most important result of strengthened efforts in projecting stability in the area. As we have mentioned in the summit, we plan to participate in the mission with 10 mentors maximum. Croatia will continue contributing to the stabilization of the wider neighborhood of the alliance with almost 150 troops in the NATO missions in Kosovo and Afghanistan. When it comes to deterrence and defense, 80 Croatian troops are contributing at the moment to the enhanced forward presence in Poland. In 2019, we plan to increase the number to 90. In 2018, we also took part with one vessel in the NATO Sea Guardian operation. Dear Jens, Secretary General, once again, warm welcome to Zagreb. I have to say that our meeting was very constructive. As always, we have made some important conclusions. We will continue our open dialogue because this is the only way to contribute to preserving fundamental values for which all NATO member states advocate. Thank you very much.
President Grabar-Kitarovic, dear Kolinda, it's really a great pleasure to be here in Zagreb and to meet with you. And it's really an honor to be here on the day of independence for Croatia. And we are impressed by the progress you have made since you gained your independence, and we are extremely grateful that Croatia is a member of NATO, helping to strengthen our collective defense and support our shared security. NATO safeguards your independence and your security, as it does for every ally. Croatia is a highly valued ally, which makes many contributions to our shared security. Croatian troops serve in NATO's battle group in Lithuania and in Poland, and in our missions in Afghanistan and in Kosovo. And as you mentioned, the Croatian Navy has joined NATO's Operation Sea Guardian for the first time, so you are also working together with other allies to keep the Mediterranean secure. NATO has a presence in the Mediterranean with our Sea Guardian, but we're also present in the Aegean Sea with naval forces, with ships, to help to implement the agreement between Turkey and the European Union, curbing the flow of illegal immigrants over the Aegean Sea. I would also like to thank Croatia for its financial contributions, including to the Military Transition Trust Fund in Ukraine, showing that you are participating and contributing in many different ways to NATO missions and operations and to our shared security. We have just discussed the security situation in this region, including the elections in Bosnia-Herzegovina and the challenges we see also in other parts of the region, including in Kosovo and in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. NATO remains fully committed to stability and security in this region, and I count on Croatia to continue playing a constructive role. I welcome the strong political support you showed during the recent referendum on the name deal between Skopje and Athens, and I have called on all political parties and leaders in Skopje to work together to seize this historic opportunity. At our summit in July, we had an important discussion on ensuring fairer burden sharing within our alliance. There is now a renewed sense of urgency on defense spending, investing in modern capabilities and contributions to NATO operations. This will be the fourth consecutive year of increased defense spending. We are making good progress as an alliance, but we must do more. In Croatia, as you mentioned, you have already stopped the cuts in defense spending, and you are now increasing this defense investments in real terms. This is something we very much welcome, and we also welcome the fact that Croatia have put into law that you will invest 2% of GDP on defense by 2024. So I count on Croatia to continue to invest in defense. This is important as NATO continues to adapt to face a more unpredictable world. So, Madam President, thank you for Croatia's strong commitment to NATO and for your strong personal commitment to our transatlantic bond. Thank you for excellent meeting, and looking forward to having dinner with you and your delegation now, so we can continue to discuss how we can strengthen NATO, our alliance, and the transatlantic partnership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.